Hello everybody, here we are again, and this time we are gonna be simply focusing on the SSR, CSR and SSG. Okay, well the title is different right now. The title is Backend of Brainly app, that we will not be working on that. So I may change the title in the middle of the live. And another thing is that this live is gonna be for an hour at least. It could be more, it can never be less, something like that. So just give me a second and then we'll be going ahead. Moreover, there was one thing, we have to work on that Brainly project, no doubt that's gonna be done. Apart from that particular thing, the thing is that we are unable to work on the same thing for a long time. This thing we'll have to resolve anyhow, or let's go through that thing first of all. Here we were, and mainly we were going through that SSR. We know about server side rendering, client side rendering, and then static, oh, forgot the even full form of that, SSG, servers not ready. Oh come on, how long will I snitch? I better have some decoction in order to get rid of this thing. By the way, the problem was that I was going through, okay, I don't even have that now yet. Come on, let's copy and paste this thing in here. It's better to go through the notes properly, try to understand. If it's still hard to understand, then I will be simply watching the video again. I don't really have any other option apart from this one. So the very first thing is client side rendering. Client side rendering, so let's do one thing. Let's make it like this. TS2 client side rendering, and that is CSR, and in here we will be just client side rendering. CSR is a modern technique used in web development where the rendering of a web page is performed in the browser using JavaScript instead of the server sending a fully rendered HTML page to the client. So ultimately, if something is being rendered on the server side, so ultimately a full page HTML page will be sent to the client, ultimately to the user or the browser. But when it comes to client side rendering CSR, so ultimately an empty page is sent. An empty page is sent with I can say an empty page plus with some extra info about that page, like metadata and all. That is sent first of all to the client. Then the client sends ultimately the browser sends a request to get the JavaScript. So JavaScript comes on the to the browser, and then that JavaScript runs the code, and because of that code only other things simply render on the page. So ultimately some things JavaScript renders the things on the client side, and that is called CSR. So client side rendering CSR is a modern technique used in web development where the rendering of a web page is performed in the browser using JavaScript. So ultimately JavaScript helps the page render on the client side in the browser, as simple as that. So let's simply copy and paste this thing. Examples are many. You first of all suppose from the browser you get whenever you just request, you get index.html, then that you send another request and you get the JS file, and that JS file runs and simply renders the pages, as simple as that. Well, let's see. In modern, npm create a wait, npm install, npm run build, cd dist serve. Okay, this is how we'll get to know about this thing. This means that JS runs and actually populates or renders the contents on the page. React or CSR makes your life as a developer easy. Your components JS renders them to DOM. You write components, JS renders them to the DOM. That's right. Downside, not SEO optimized. User sees a flash before the page renders. Waterfalling problem. That's right. So I don't really have any problem with client side rendering CSR, and I quite know about this thing too. So there are gonna be some downsides too. So there are upsides, there are downsides. So that's all right. Let's talk about server side rendering. These things are at least not that difficult, like easy to understand, at least these two ones. TS2, and that's gonna be server side rendering. By the way, looking at my code, you must have got the idea, like it's getting cold now. It has been raining since the beginning. Even the crops hasn't been cut yet, but yeah, it's raining continuously. SSR. So let's go through this one. The thing is that once you just sit here to code or do something, at least the minimum duration of the live is going to be 1 hour. So you are bound to sit for an hour. When the rendering process converting JS components to HTML happens on the server, it's called SSR. As simple as that. Like ultimately there are two things. First of all, you get a normal HTML, like empty HTML page, and then you get you send a request to get the JS file. The JS file runs and converts the remaining code into HTML file. Ultimately, the React code that you get, ultimately forget about even that React code, the JS file that runs and renders the HTML code. Ultimately, you get an empty page, you get the JS file runs, and that JS file converts the code into the HTML on the client side in the browser, that is CSR. And when JavaScript converts the code into, ultimately when the code directly gets converted into HTML on the server side itself rather than getting converted in the client side, that is called server side rendering. When the rendering process converting to JS components to HTML components, ultimately all the JS components will become converted to HTML components on the server side itself. That's called server side rendering. And in this way we just directly get the page with the full content, like whatever content is needed, that's already going to be there because that has already been converted. Or our main goal is going to be to get this server side rendering functionality implemented as much as we can, because if suppose it's gonna take time on building, building time is gonna building thing is gonna take time. So whenever you build, it will take more time because it will take time to build the static site generation files, right? Once the files are built once, first of all, even this thing happens, so they can easily be accessed, like there will be nothing changed, so nothing needs to be built in them, so they are gonna be like that. Apart from that thing, when it comes to server side rendering, so all the files are gonna be rendered on the server side beforehand. Once they're already ready, so they have to just simply be visible on the page, or simply rendered on the page. So that's the timing of the loading is gonna be really less, as simple as that. So it's something gonna be like this. YSSR SEO optimizations gets rid of the waterfalling problem. White flash before see content, try creating an XJS app, notice the HTML you receive is populated. Okay, that's right. The HTML that actually I receive when I talk about NextJS, that is server side rendering that supports to. So the HTML that we get, that is already populated or rendered. Ultimately all the content is there in the HTML file itself, whatever we need to show. Okay, this is how it's gonna go on. Downside, expensive since every request needs to render on the server, harder to scale, you can't cache the CDNs. So there are few things. Firstly, when it comes to the client side rendering, you can cache it, like you can cache the React and you can ultimately use the CDNs in the React. That functionality is there. But when it comes to the server side rendering, that CDN, though there are some ways to get this functionality implemented, but it's hard ultimately. But when it comes to React, it's not hard at all. So ultimately client side rendering supports the CDNs easily, and whereas server side rendering, it's hard to do this, get this thing done in server side thing. Just a sec. But when it comes to server side, there are some benefits as well, like first of all, YSSR, so SEO optimization. So ultimately these are gonna be upsides, so let's keep this thing in here too. These are the upsides of it, like you will get, oh no way, okay, so you will get SEO optimization, you will get rid of waterfalling problem, and ultimately you will have no flash white page ultimately. And there are some downsides of it. Let's get those things here too. So ultimately I think I'm done. text is actually gonna be what it should be larger, so too much. Let's make it like this only. So these are the two things that we have in here. First one is client side rendering, second one is server side rendering. Both of them are pretty much good. The last but not the least that we are gonna discuss in here, that is static site generation, TS2, and that's gonna be static site generation. So ultimately, if nothing changes in the page, so that can be saved in a raw HTML file, and that is called static site generation. That means if nothing changes, so the file will be saved as HTML, and then whenever we need that, this HTML will be re-rendered SSG. So it's going to be like that. Then if page uses static generation, here the page HTML is generated at build time. That means in production the page HTML is generated when you run next the build. This HTML will then be reused on each request. It can be cached by a CDN. Oh, interesting. So ultimately the static site generated files can be cached using CDN. If you use static site generation, you can defer the expensive operation of rendering a page to the build time, so it only happens once. Like the time it takes to simply generate the static site files will only take time once. Like whenever you build, at that time this process will go on, and once it's done, you don't need to worry about it anymore, because the files are already generated, there nothing changes in them. So ultimately those are there for your use anytime, anytime and any number of time, as simple as that. And this is something that I need to go through. What is this? Fetching data. This page will walk you through how you can fetch data, servers and client components, and how to stream components that depends on data. You can fetch data in the server components using fetch API or ORM or databases. With the fetch API, this is how you will get the data, this is how you will convert them, and this is how you will render them. This is happening on the server side. Good to know. Fetch responses are not cached by default. However, Next.js will pre-render the route and the output will be cached for improved performance. If you would like to opt dynamic use the cache no store option. Okay, during development you can log fetch calls for better visibility. Okay, these are the things that are actually happening. The second thing is that we are actually db.selected.from author. Okay. We are simply getting it directly from the database, because it is this is the server side page, so this can also run, and that means we can easily get that too. Yeah. Client side, there are two ways to fetch data in the client side using React's hook community library like SWR React query. So this was something that I had to learn. I have no idea about React query yet, but I know about hooks here. So by the way, when it comes to hooks, React query are using that. We have suspense in here. Inside that we have posts. If there's any fallback, then the loading will be shown. Post is equal to get posts, and then posts here. Okay, page, promise, map, all posts. Then in your client use hook. So ultimately use posts. Okay, this is insane. We are actually exporting page from here, and we are not getting the page here. We are exporting posts from here, and here we are using that posts. So ultimately posts are getting posts, and those posts we are using posts here, all posts. Okay, whatever the business logic here, and this is where we use SWR. Okay, kind of React query from SWR and React query are different. Okay, SWR given this, getting data here is loading, simply showing. Okay, SWR is easy. React query, how about this? So db.query.post.find first. Okay, simple. That means things are not that tricky too, but they are tricky. Never mind, that's a lot. If I keep reading it, it's gonna take a lot of time. Well, not really. I don't think so it's gonna take. So I can just keep reading from here on. Get artist, you are providing the username, you are just using this one. If there's any error, then the loading will be shown. Ultimately, if there's any suspense, show fallback UI while the playlists component is loading. Okay. Never mind. So this particular page, okay, I've been gone through it enough. So if a page uses static generation, the page HTML is generated at build time. That means in production, the page HTML is generated when you run next build. Yeah, this HTML will then be reused on each request. It can be cached by CD, and it can be cached. Just the HTML file can be cached. That is why we were saying that it's a little tricky, because just the HTML files are being cached. As simple as that. If you use a static site generation, you can defer the expensive operation of rendering a page to the build time, so it only happens once. So ultimately, when it comes to static site generation, so if you are actually generating building the files again and again, that means it's taking time. But if you actually build them once and reuse them over and over, so building time will be just once, but using time can be as many times as you want. Oh. So this thing is done in here. How? Let's say you have an endpoint that gives you all the global to-dos of an app. By global to-dos, we mean that they are the same for all users, and hence this page can be statically generated. Yeah. A fetch. We are just fetching the data. Then we are converting it to the JSON format. To-dos data, we got it, and then we are just simply try updating the fetch requests. Clear cache every 10 seconds. So await and the next revalidate 10 seconds. Ultimately, by default, we'll get only one. Like it will not be cached. Clear cache in next. Okay. This is something that actually went over my head. Server side rendering is alright. Okay, that's not really a problem. But the examples given here, I actually need to go through them well. But the website that I was using, that's not being used. Like that's not actually working the way I wanted it to work. That simply means I will have to create an HGS app with the proper backend, and then it may be able to give me the things that I want. Because at least this page is not going to give me anything. So yeah, it's simply saying that I can't reach. So there's only one thing right now left, and that is this, that we have this home page over here. With this home page, we can create API/v1/ we are working on the backend, of course. That means to-dos. Ultimately, I'll be getting to-dos, and that to random to-dos I'll be getting. So this is how we'll be going ahead, and /route.ts. So I hope this is fine. Once we have this route.ts, and I hope I'm gonna make it right. So I have to create a function, and that's gonna be a get request to export function. That's actually going to be a get request where I'll be getting all the to-dos. Pretty simple. I'm gonna make it a thing because of course this is the server side thing. This thing is done here, and then in the response, first of all I need to have some to-dos. Then I get the to-dos randomly, and then I have to just simply go ahead. So let's create an array of to-dos. Okay, and after that we will be creating a random number. Suppose to-dos are gonna be like this. So this to-dos title 1 and this. I'm just making the backend on my own because I don't really have any backend to work on with right now. So description 1, this is how we have to go ahead, and right now the remaining thing is going to be like this. So Control C, here we are. I'll just simply paste it. That's really bad. So it has been like this, and let's copy and paste the things again once more. And these many to-dos I will have, but they are gonna be randomly selected, so we have to just keep that particular thing in mind. And Control D both sides. Well, that's not happening the way I expected it to be. So this is gonna be 2, this is gonna be 3, this is gonna be 4, this is gonna be 5, this is gonna be 6, and then 7. Oh, come on, 7, and this is gonna be 8. I said 8. So these many to-dos actually we have right now. Then we have to just create a random number, and that random number const random number is equal to math.random, and we'll have to even use the floor thing. So math.floor, and then is it right? FL, yeah. And then we have math.random. We'll be getting the random number. Having said that, we will multiply it by what? We will multiply it by 2, so it's like 0.5 multiplied by 2, so it will be around 1. So 2, so any number, so I'll be getting random numbers till 9, and that's actually gonna be +1 at the end. I'm just simply gonna console log it, and that's gonna be a random number. Let's see what all random numbers I'm going to get. I hope it should be fine. Let's check this particular, first of all, code that I've written, whether it's working the way I expect it to work or not. So here we are. I hope it's gonna work fine. So we have this random num. Okay, that's crazy. Random num 10. Okay, for the first time it was just 10, so it's actually showing that. Not a problem. We'll be going on like this. We are actually getting 10. Insane. That means 10. Well, it's always the same. Over here I should have multiplied it by 9 rather than adding 9. So that's the problem. Multiplied by 9, come on. So 8. 1, 3, 2, 4, 7, 9, 6. Ultimately it's working the way I wanted it to work. Am I okay? So let's simply multiply it in here. That means I will get the number. But the thing is that how many to-dos we have? We have 8 to-dos, so we need a number still 8 only. Are we sure? We need numbers till 7 only. If I'm writing 7 in here, that means I'll be getting the numbers till 7, and that simply means that as it starts with 0, so by 7 it will be over. This particular thing is done, and now I have to just simply return the to-dos. Not even returning that, there's something called response that I will be just returning. Are you sure? I'm not sure. Request. How to get response in here? I think we have to next response. Response. Yeah, this is something that we have in here. Status, we can just simply say 200 dot JSON. This is gonna be the format of it, and we will be returning to-dos. So to-dos is equal to the random to-dos are gonna be there. That means to-dos dot random number. Are we sure this much? Not really, not this way. To-dos dot random number means one particular to-do will be sent, and I want more than one to-dos. That means I will have to slice it. Slice till what? Its start number, end number. If I just give it the starting point, will it have the ending point too automatically? Let's simply check this thing. We have the random number in here, and it has to just simply go on. Having said that, the starting number will always be 0, and the ending number will be the random number, and that will be excluded, that will not be included. The end index specified position of the array, this is exclusive of the element. That means if we have 7 in here, actually we have 8 in here, it means the 8 is not included. That means this particular thing will never come. That means we'll have to increase it by 1. Well, we'll see this thing, that's not a big problem. Why is it type next response? So we are getting it from the next server. What is the problem? Property status does not exist. Okay, it does not exist. Okay, really? It does not exist. We have next response in here. Any another way to get this next response? Not really. What to do? As for the backend, I'm not even quite sure how it's created. So let's do one thing. In order to especially to go through this thing, I'm gonna get some examples, and that's gonna be, I think, next just second one, and it should be enough. We are actually talking about auth here. We must be talking about the backend, and how we are returning that is something we need to think about. Not really, not here. Auth is here. Okay, looks like I have to. These are the commands. There is no boilerplate. Popular choices. Okay. Are we backend working on this particular thing? We need the route page that we don't have here. Okay, this is the route page. We are getting the providers. That means we are working on authentication. We don't really need to do that in here, at least. I think I should take the help of Google at least, if not the AI. So let's search Next.js in here. There are two things. Either I can just go through my notes, but it may even take time. So when we already know where we have to go, so why not? Let's go there, directly there. Okay. And then we need to move to the server side. Well, that we don't really have that. Caching, fetching, updating. I said I know where to go, but the reality is for different. Server client component. This is actually the client. Okay. Third party composite client component. Fetching data, image, proxy, deploying directives, edge, API architecture. Well, not really getting what I wanted. What about this one? Looks like it's gonna be the same. Yeah, like father like son. Web dev, here we are. This is the first one that we actually had in here. Server side. Yeah, this video even I have to watch. I needed some code, key points. Why do we use Next.js for backend benefits? Okay. Server side code for Next.js. Server side rendering SSR. I hope this is something that's gonna help me. Oh, Okay. This is crazy. HTTP, not really HTTP methods. Kind of their methods in Next.js server side code example. Let's go through it. Are you kidding me? Seriously? I'm not getting even a single. I don't know what to ask for. I know like this kind of content I need, but I don't know the name. So request response request dot method. This is something I needed. That means in Next.js we don't specify status. Is that so? And I tried to do the same just in here, and that's why it's wrong. Oh, crazy stuff. Never mind. This is how we go ahead, and then we can just get the same backend in here. So const what will I get in there? I will get these things from there. Okay, should be fine. Should be fine. To is equal to await fetch. First of all, we need to fetch the data. So http/rest localhost 3000/API/v1/to, and I think I need to first of all make it async. And the second thing is that if it actually gonna work, then it will work for this one too. Come on, the server is not running. So npm run dev. Let's run the server. Okay, it's like even if you've been taught by a teacher, you have to have hands-on experience. Okay, this, what the hell? API v1 it's saying that page cannot be found. That's interesting. It's running on this one. I have API, I have v1, I have to-dos, I have route.ts. I'm even exporting it from here. I have this get method in here. I have to-dos, I'm returning the things from here. Well, it's saying not found. CLG getting to-dos. I hope it's gonna work. npm run I need to go through the docs of Next.js as well, because whenever I visit the page, I don't know anything in there. Like, seriously. And then I just keep guessing the things. So this is how we have to go ahead. API localhost 3000. Why is this? Okay. This is how we are going ahead, and in here we are const to-dos is and what is values first of all local 3000 AP. There's really nothing else apart from singing the song. Even this thing is not working as expected. What else can I expect? Beta. Let's go through this thing first of all. Let's see exactly how many things are in there. Next.js. At least I should have the overall idea. Next.js, how to use docs, app router, pages router, React version handling, prerequisite knowledge, accessibility join. Well, nothing needed in here, so don't really need to worry about anything. Let's look to app router. Next.js docs app router. Where am I getting it from, by the way? App router is something like this. Okay, then installation and all. I'm getting started. Let's directly move from here. Next step, installation, project structure, layouts, pages, linking, server, fetching server and client components. I'll figure them out. This is how we are gonna install. Quick start, systematic, create a manual, app directory, run ipt. Okay, project structure is going to be like this: dynamic, parallel, open app, route groups, source folder. Are we getting route groups? How about this? Okay, just talking about the front end so far. Layouts and pages. Well, the layouts are cleared. Linking and navigation. Ultimately, we are talking about the front end here so far. Server and client component. So on the server, on the client, using components expensive. So how about this particular thing? Okay. So still we are talking about the client side. Cache components. What does this mean? Missing basic. Okay. Examples: cache components, before cache components, route handlers. Aha. So route handlers with cache components, dynamic APIs, passing dynamic props, route handlers with cache, frequently asked questions. So let's go with this one. So we just get the projects from the query. We simply response. Where am I getting this response from? And response.json. Wow, where did this come from, by the way? Response. We have just simply response in here. Interesting. How about next one? Fetching data. Data is being fetched like this. Updating data. I hope it's gonna be like that only. Caching and revalidating. API revalidator, revalidate tag. Okay, revalidate it. It is important. Yeah, that's right. But it is happening on which side? This is simply a page, that means on the server side, and we need to revalidate on the server side only. Interesting. Error handling. So we are handling the errors. Server components. How about this? Not found. Handling state global errors. Okay, we are gonna create mail website. CSS things we have in here. Well, I haven't yet found the proper code for the backend on Next.js. I mean, things are okay. It's not like they're bad. I hope I get this one. Image optimization. Okay, font of metadata, OG, route handlers. Is this the one? Oh wow, thank you. Got it. So it is inside this route handler. Then convention. What is the convention in here? Saying get a request, we get in here. That's all right. And then if I just keep scrolling, we have the response. We have the response in here. And are we just importing it from somewhere? Not really. And then we request response etx, then proxy. We can use the proxies for getting what? For getting the params and all. Oh really? Is that for proxies mainly for middlewares, if I'm not wrong. Deploying, upgrading. So at last I got this thing. That was some kind of helpful thing. Apart from it, okay, it's not done yet. The directive components file is CLI. What is this directives? Well, there's really nothing. Add cache, use private cache. Oh, cache components. So I thought to have learned a lot about Next.js, but the reality is far from that. File system, default, route.js. This is interesting. What is the name? File system conventions. Default is gonna be like this. Dynamic, errors. Oh, like it. So this is gonna be all about files and all. Then we have things about functions. Wow. We have fetch in here, and then all about fetch, exactly how it works and all. We can revalidate it, we can set the number and all, we can give it 10 seconds to revalidate. False, infinity, prevent the resources from being cached, the number in seconds specified. This is what I was looking for. And then options, next tag, set the cache tags of resource data can be revalidated on demand using revalidated the max length of the question to view whatever. Okay, so ultimately what we are doing that. Next tag collection. So yeah, things are like this. What now? Firstly, I have to watch the video again, that is for sure. Second thing is that I created this fetch HTTP. It should work by the way, but it's not working. How about method is going to be get? Will it be fine? Localhost 3000/API/v1/todos. This is what I wanted, but this is showing no. I'm done. Headers. (404), which means it is not found. The request is get for sure by default, and this is the URL. Why is it not working? I think just 3000 is going to work, right? Yeah, home page. That is working. Is there anything that I'm missing? API v1 to do's routes. I haven't built even a single project on. Like I have learned Next.js, but I haven't built the projects yet, and that may cause the problem to just forget everything again. Okay. I have a dizzy mind right now. Not sure as to what to do. You got to be kidding me. This API should be inside the app. And now it would work. /API/v1/todos. Such a silly mistake that was. 1 2 3 4 5 again. 1 2 3 4 5 again. 1 2 come on. I want to get new to-dos whenever I render the page, but it is not happening like that. That simply means this random thing is not generating the random numbers. So if I just talk about the random numbers, CLG getting to do's, that's okay. Random is gonna be random number, so I have to see exactly what kind of random number I'm getting. Let's do the same thing here. So local host 3000 slash API slash v1 slash todos random number 3. So I got 6 in here. Okay, random number 7, I got 7, I got 6, I got 3. Well, it's working as expected. That's what I wanted it to do. That means I'm getting random to do's. At least backend I have created for myself using Next.js itself. So this thing is done. Right now I will be getting the things in here. By the way, I don't even need to specify this thing in here. It's gonna work by default. And then const this should actually be response, and to do is equal to response.json. Well, I'll have to update this for sure. So it's gonna be awaited. I got the to-dos. Once I actually got the to-dos, so to-dos is the array to-dos.map. I will get a to-do. Then I have to just get a div in here, something like this. Once I have the div, I have the to-do, and then I have the to-do. So I will just write to-do.title, and then okay, not bad. Parameter to-do has implicitly any type. Great. TypeScript, thank you. This is how you keep making me work harder for simplest things. This is how it's gonna be going ahead. As per to do, it will be type of an object. That object will have okay, to do. It will have title, string. It will have description, string, and it should be fine. It needs a key. I get it, but I don't have it, so I'll get the index from here too. So let's get the index as well. Let's give it proper parentheses. That's bad. Let's put the things like this, give them their it's gonna be actually number, give them their types by default like this only. So things are gonna be like this. I need to give key in here, so key is gonna be index. Anything else? Okay, nothing else is remaining. And now I can see the things whether actually they're working fine or not. So let's go to just simply home page. To-dos.map is not a function. To-dos.map is not a function. To-do is an array that I'm actually getting in there. Am I getting an array? Not really. You are not getting an array. You are getting to-dos. Okay, that was my bad. So how can I send the data from here? I'm actually sending these to-dos, kind of an object. Yeah. So instead of sending the object to-dos.to-dos, it will be really hard to do that. So let's do one thing. You can do something like this. So this is actually going to be data. That data is going to have to-dos. So I can have like this. It should be fine right now. And if I okay, here we are getting it. If I refresh the page, guess what? I'm getting random to-dos automatically. Should I be getting this or not? Why am I even getting it? I'm simply getting, first of all, I'm running it on the server side, and I need to build it and then I run it, because if I simply npm run dev, so that's all right, it will just keep going on like this. Npm run build, so let's build it. I hope it's going to be built. Next.js build worker exited with the code. Wow. Why? Type error failed. Where? Insane. Response. I think I should not face any problem with this response thing in here at least. npm run build. Will it happen? I don't think so. Yeah, I knew that. What is the problem, by the way? Error occurred pre-rendering page. This type error, fetch failed, fetching failed. Okay, why did the fetch failed? Aggregate error, ignored frames, error. Wow. Encountered exiting build worker failed. Okay, hang on. First of all, I don't need this response in here. This is the first thing. I seriously don't need that. The response, I can get the response from the next server. I think this is the only thing that's going to be used. Okay, I had better make a proper project. By the way, I can do one thing. Next.js projects, GitHub. Let's see if I find any project. Oh, really? We have web, we should have API. This is just the front end code. Alrighty. Apps, docs, landing, web. Are we using monorepo? Yeah, turbo. That's what I was learning. I can't build this. This is insane. One more. When it comes to Next.js, to-do app must have been created. Let's go to summary app. We have inside, we are inside which thing? Next.js, then we have the files too, we have auth, we have this layout. Forget about even the layout. We have this API in here, we have the routes in here. We are just using this one. Well, that should work as expected, but I'm getting something is fishy because I'm getting an error. And what thing can that be? Why is that happening? Let's forget about this one in here. Okay, let's give it one more try, and then I'll simply see the next tab we are in. npm run build. It should not be a problem, by the way. Should simply build it, but still we are getting this error. Build next build. Okay, I can turbo pack. Well, there is no turbo pack as such. npm install. Okay, npm run build. Unable to create a proper build. Okay, this next is something that's getting created. Let's delete it from here and try it. What is this now? tsconfig. Time to take the help of AI. What does this error mean? Why am I facing this even? Okay, calm down. How long are you even gonna take? Do you want me to just simply sit here and watch you? Or you gonna give any response? Okay, this error because Next.js is trying to fetch data during build process static. Okay, static so but fetch request is falling with error econ refused. This means doing npm build Next.js attempts to pre-render your page and if your page has a fetch call to an API endpoint. Like this, Next.js tries to execute that fetch build time. However, server API you are trying to use agent running during the build or URL you are fetching like local isn't accessible in the build environment. Fetching from local host or relative you are also recommending external API down reachable in the backend service is not Docker CI environment where backend isn't available. Oh. Use dynamic rendering, skip static range generation for that page, add this at the top of the page component that's causing the error. Is that so? Oh, fetch next to probably double slash type. I think this should solve the error. Force dynamic. Okay, I think this is the one. How about building it again? Oh, it worked. npm run start. Let's get this. I have 7. Yeah, it's changing. What was the problem, by the way? I have to rewatch the video in order to get the full concept properly in my mind. But at least I've got most of the things done on my own too. That's a good thing. By the way, let's simply start the music, play the music in the background and get the things done.
close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. See the horizon, turn us to thousands, and we'll grow in number, fueled by them. To see the horizon, turn us to thousands, and on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go. can seize my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight.
Right everybody, it has been already more than an hour. So the main goal was to just sit here and code for an hour at least, and it's been even more than that. So right now I'm gonna just simply take a break, and then after some time I'm gonna be back again and continue from here on. Okay, by the way, that thing is done. I was merely going through the notes, and the last thing is actually remaining, and those few things are going to be clear maybe later, not now. So I just gotta copy paste everything, and whenever I get the chance I will be digging deeper. For now, that was it. I'm gonna be catching up soon, and